Hello again. It's Sunday, June 13th, 2021. I'm Jolie, or you can call me Salah. If you're wondering what the word Salah means, it's in the Bible, used many, many times, most especially in Psalms. But yet you can't really find it's something you can't really put your finger on, you know? It's almost like a pause. But then in other places, it means different things. I love the Bible. You know, the Word of God is alive. The Bible, the words in the Bible are alive, and they will speak to you if you let them speak to you. We have, like I said earlier in our earlier update, we are doing some Watchman parties today. And the one before this was on Out of the Darkness. And on this particular episode, we have Behizy, which is great friend and brother to us, the Black conservative Patriot, who we haven't had the chance to meet yet, but we hope to, and Dr. Kelly Ward from the Arizona State Republican Party. And we're going to be sharing their most recent update for you. So I'm going to go right in so that I keep these somewhat short. We're going to go into our YouTube, which is inTruthNews. And we have a category called, we label all the videos that we post. And this particular label is Watch Party. So you could click in there and see what we're going to be sharing with you, or what we hope to share with you. There's so much information that sometimes it's too much to share. But anyways, we're going to go into the first one we're going to share today is President Trump teams up with Mike Lindell.
Yeah, President Trump and Pillow Man combining forces to fight for truth and freedom. Well, isn't this something? On my second channel, I streamed the entire event. President Trump came in and he was praising Mike Lindell. Mike, you're a strong fighter. You're a patriot. Oh, it just sounded so good. Just someone edit his voice and put George or Behizy. You're a strong fighter, strong. Oh, man, thank you so much, Mr. President. I would have never guessed that. Wow, that's so cool. We had tens of thousands of people there in person and millions watching online. Already bigger than a Joey Bribes rally. And President Trump didn't even need to be there. You know, I think what's even crazier is the fact that the things we've been saying for months are starting to look more and more realistic every single day. The fact that the President of the United States, shut up, don't you dare say that word form, get with. The fact that the president is there, come on, man. The whole basis of the event is that this guy, you're illegit Joey, and you're the real true person that should have been in that office. You know, the president could talk about anything, but he spends so much time reminding us of what happened in November. Why is that the case? I am happy the president said this.
I want to thank people like Rudy Giuliani, who is out there fighting, and they're after him, and they want to take him down. They want to take us all down. There's never been a time like this. There's never been. It's weaponized.
It's true.
It's weaponized. And the Republicans were very nice. Our people were very, very nice and very, very respectful. And I said this would happen. But Rudy is a great patriot. He was the greatest mayor in the history of New York, and a great, great patriot. And what he's done, and what Mike has done, and what so many other people have done, these are incredible heroes, and they're going to go down as heroes someday, and I think it's someday in the not-too-distant future. So I look forward to being with you.
Of course, Mr. President, they will be heroes someday in the not-too-distant future. You're right, I agree with you. Put Behizy in there, too. He didn't mention, this guy and his vaccines. He won't mention me. The president also talked about Arizona a little bit, thanking their patriotic senators for doing exactly what their constituents elected them to do. Listen to their constituents. He's thanking politicians. You know, I'm really impressed with President Trump here. He could be on any show, and he decides to be with the people that support him the most. Fox News only brings him on because the Trump supporters go crazy. Oh, Mr. President. And then Fox News gets all the viewers. They keep their relevancy, which in actuality, they're a bunch of cowards. Newsmax, a bunch of cowards as well. They also bring them in to bring their ratings up. But ultimately, they don't support you, Mr. President. The real people that support you are the people that are working tirelessly every single day to clear your name. We're clearing your name about what happened on the 6th of January. We're clearing your name on what you said about November. We're clearing your name on various issues if you want to know the truth. See, I'm starting to sound like Trump. I just need to start doing my arms like this. Look, very thankful for everyone that showed up. You're so great, so tremendous. You're big, and we're going to win, and the best is yet to come. I think the president could do this a little bit. These smaller rallies with 20,000 people, okay, not a small rally, but he could just show up on Zoom and Jumbotron, satellite, that's what they called it, and speak to the real people that support him. Charlie Kirk, really cool guy, he said something I liked, which was, conservatives need to stop observing. We are not observatives, we are conservatives. We don't observe as the country is torn apart. We do our part to fight against the workers of iniquity. Jesus never said, okay, sit around and just wait for me and watch videos of when I'm coming back and look for all these signs. No, he said, occupy until I come. I think Christians, more importantly, well, some conservatives aren't Christians, but I'm speaking to the Christians here. We have a duty and an obligation from God to occupy until he comes back. A lot of Christians say we shouldn't care about politics. Go tell that to a North Korean Christian or an Indian Christian. They wish they had this type of government. And if Christians aren't in politics in a country they are actually the majority in, who the hell's going to control it? Atheists? You're going to have atheists, a smaller minority in the country, controlling the government if Christians aren't getting involved. That's what the devil wants you to think. He wants you to think God just sits there and goes, okay, I can only work in ministry, but hell no, I can't work in government. Even though the entire Bible is how God is using kingdoms and tearing down kingdoms to prove his glory to his people time and time and time again. So yeah, back to Mike Lindell and President Trump. Just missed the topic completely. Mr. President, I think it's a good time to start packing your bags. I think you should move somewhere. Hopefully a home that's white. You could just sit there for approximately 4 years and make up the time lost and drain the swamp and do what God chose you to do. Because I believe God chose you. There is no coincidence, okay? There's no reason we should be auditing and pushing for truth about what happened 8 months ago, maybe. But we are, because God made it so. God is in this. He did this all. He planned everything. And now we're just here watching it and we're participating. And God is using each and every single one of you to be fighting for truth and standing for truth, because that's how he wants it. He wants you to have the power. He wants you to call your state legislature and not wait for someone magical to save you. He wants you to get up and realize the power that he gave you, use the freedoms that he granted you to actually call for change. And if that's not possible, you demand it. And if that's not possible, the right to keep the bear arm. Play it. Don't go shoot up anyone, okay? Their name isn't George Simon.
All right, so we're gonna actually go right into another video, and I love how refreshing everybody is. Like everybody speaks truth in like their own personality, you know, and we can all get it. We understand, you know. I'm gonna go into Dr. Kelly Ward. Let me see if I can find this particular one, and I'll share the most recent one, which is this one, I think.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to America's Audit Update from the Republican Party of Arizona. I am your chairwoman, Dr. Kelly Ward. Let's continue to look into the important progress being made as America's Audit approaches the time when a final report will be made to the Arizona State Senate. Yesterday, I gave you a first-hand look from an in-depth briefing and a personal tour of the facilities and the operations at the audit. The entire operation was extremely impressive. There's a great deal of new information that we can share as the progress and new milestones are made each day. First, paper ballot counting has accelerated and is nearly finished. Indeed, earlier this week, an incredible 90,000 ballots, 90,000 were hand counted at 21 counting stations. And as of today, Delegations from Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Alaska, Colorado, Oklahoma, Utah, the state of Washington, and Michigan have toured the audit operations and are looking at what should and must be done in their own state to ensure election integrity. Next, over 2,000 individuals have been vetted and served as volunteers thus far. That's impressive, and it shows what Americans will do to stand up for our nation and for the rule of law. 4, tens of thousands of individual contributions have poured in to support the audit, with the vast majority of those donations in the range of $5 to $50. So you can help. Local and national Democrats are calling the audit dangerous for democracy, and the mainstream media is parroting their ridiculous, unfounded allegations. Dangerous for democracy? This is the epitome of what democracy looks like. An actual hand count and evaluation of the ballots in a secure and transparent and professional setting? That is not dangerous for democracy. I'd suggest instead that it may be, well, dangerous for Democrats, because they don't seem to understand that the power in our nation rests with the people. When legitimate questions are raised in any other country in the world regarding voting irregularities, our nation stands united, Republicans and Democrats, in demanding that the election results be thoroughly reviewed and audited. But for some reason, the Democrats won't support the same due process right here in the United States of America. We are learning so much from the audit already. We know the voter roll software is highly vulnerable, that voter rolls should be tied to driver's licenses, that paper ballots may need to be watermarked or otherwise marked for security, that voter identification is imperative. And by way of example, if Medicare can know instantaneously when an individual dies and can update their records, voter rolls should be cleaned up in similar fashion. That's it for today. We're going to continue to fight for election integrity and for the restoration of voter confidence. Thank you so much for tuning in today and continuing to tune in. I can't wait to see you at our next update.
So, again, these links are right here in the description. You could subscribe to all these channels and listen to them daily. Some people make multiple posts per day. I think that Dr. Kelly Ward makes them one per day. I'm almost positive. But they're great updates, and Behizy does great updates. And now I'm gonna also play the Black conservative Patriot, which he has been doing this for a long time. But we started listening to him about a year ago. But he's been on for many, many years. This one's a little longer, so we're going to go a little longer than 20 minutes today.
Welcome to Open Source News. I am your brother and your host, BCP. I hope it's a wonderful summer day wherever you may be. Folks, we've got some good news. We've got something that President Trump is apparently working on, and he is staying focused. I'll get to that in just a moment. And we've got some good news throughout the nation of patriots taking action. This is not just a cult of personality, all about Trump. It's about patriots that want the MAGA movement to go forward. They want America first. They do not want tyranny. They do not want any form of socialism in this great republic, the United States of America. And we're going to get into that. If you like this video, please smash it, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, put your opinion down below. Your engagement with this video helps us with the YouTube algorithm. This channel is still in timeout, in that our videos are only being shared with subscribers. The last numbers I looked at, 96% of our videos are only seen by subscribers. That's unheard of. In other words, they're not promoting this outside of our subscriber base. So if you want to make sure that you continue to see this material, if you're not subscribed, if you're one of the few that are not subscribed, or you're the kind of people that just check in every single day without subscribing, go ahead and subscribe. It'll help us with the YouTube algorithm so that we can hopefully break out of this naughty list that we're on. But we continue and we shall prevail. Let's get into this. And by the way, let me just mention really quick that we do have a second YouTube channel, the BCP Report. The link is down below, and we have an off-platform show at bcpextras.com where we report on and analyze all the new stuff that you're probably wondering, why doesn't BCP talk about that? We talk about it over there because we're not allowed to here.
Yeah.
So let me give you a follow-up on the AOC story. The Daily Mail, exclusive. It's a problem here in Puerto Rico, not with Washington. So if you recall, AOC had tweeted out that her poor abuela, her house is still dilapidated and not fixed because of the terrible actions of the Trump administration 4 years after Hurricane Maria. I covered that, but what here's very interesting is that the Daily Mail says they respectfully hunted down, or I shouldn't say hunted down, located the abuelita in question, and this is what they found. Cortez's angry tweet about her grandmother's damaged home in Puerto Rico and the accusation about blocked Hurricane Maria aid sparked a new storm, with one right commentator starting a GoFundMe page that raised $104,000 to help her abuela. But the fiery congresswoman might not have the unequivocal support of one member of the family for her online outburst. AOC tweeted 2 pictures of grandmother Clotilde Rivera's ruined ceiling with the words, "Just over a week ago, my abuela fell ill. I went to Puerto Rico to see her. My first time in a year plus because of the virus. This is her home. Hurricane Maria hasn't arrived. Trump blocked relief money for PR. And for the record, my abuela's doing okay. It's not about us, but about what's happening to Puerto Rico across the island, or Puerto Ricans across the island." So dailymail.com tracked down 81-year-old Clotilde's home to a quiet community just outside the picturesque coastal town of Arecibo, located 40 miles west from the capital, San Juan, on the island's beautiful north coast. And when we politely approached the 2-story flat-roofed residence, we were met by a woman who told us emphatically, after viewing AOE's tweets, "I am her aunt. We don't speak for the community." The relative, who refused to give her name, added, "We are private people. We don't talk about our family." Ironically for AOC, she also refused to blame former President Donald Trump for thousands of Hurricane Maria victims being unable to get money to repair shattered homes. This comes as no surprise, and we reported this at the time and since then. Discovery of warehouses and all kinds of goods and relief aid that never got distributed to the people.
Yeah.
However, she did express sympathy for those who need help after the 2017 disaster, which damaged 90% of the island's 1.3 million dwellings and killed 2,900 plus people. The area where AOC's grandmother lives experienced some of the worst devastation on the island when the Category 5 storm swept through after making landfall on September 30th. This is what her aunt said. Pay attention. In this area, people need a lot of help. Many people have needed it for the past 4 years and haven't had anything. It's a problem here in Puerto Rico with the administration and the distribution of help. It is not a problem with Washington. We have the assistance. It didn't get to the people. There we go. Her own aunt saying it's not President Trump, it's not Washington's fault, it's the local government. All right, let's talk about President Trump, who said that he's turned down multiple book deals. So President Trump released a statement Friday giving an indication of what he is up to. This is what the president released. Quote, "I turned down 2 book deals from the most unlikely of publishers. In that, I do not want to do such a deal right now. I'm writing like crazy anyway, however, and when the time comes, you'll see the book of all books. Actually, I've been working on a much more important project right now, exclamation point." So what could that project be? Well, most likely it is the new social media platform that he is supposed to launch in the next several weeks. Jason Miller, his close advisor, saying that it is possible, didn't say it was likely, just said it was possible that they would like to see it maybe by 4th of July, which would put us roughly just a few weeks, 3-ish weeks away from now. That would be absolutely incredible. Let's see if that happens. Now, one idea that has been floated that I talked about and people discounted, thought I was crazy when I said it about January 20th or 21st in a I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was a live that I did. And I remember reading the comments and people live are going, "This is ridiculous. Why should President Trump go from president to a legislator?" But folks, this idea is gaining a lot of steam, even being discussed on Newsmax. And Newsmax, folks, so if you're not aware, is the news mainstream media conservative station you should be listening to if you're looking for news. It is a replacement of Fox. And I like the fact that it seems like a majority of them are just pro-America, pro-Constitution, pro-liberty. They don't have this like polished, this polished Hollywood look, that Fox News has had for a long time. They have this more American squeaky clean look, which I really like. I want you to listen to this segment. This is Newsmax contributor and former Trump campaign legal advisor, Jenna Ellis, talking about this, okay? So this is Jenna Ellis talking about this on the show. It's about a minute segment. Listen closely.
You brought up another important topic, the next round of elections, right? And President Trump can't seem to stay out of the headlines. There have been rumors, conversations about him possibly considering a congressional run in Florida, then maybe using that to lead the Speaker of the House. What have you heard? Do you think that this could be a path forward to the president when it comes to getting back into politics?
Well, that's, of course, a constitutionally viable path. And, President Trump himself said it's a very interesting theory. And this is one that would be within the margins of the U.S. Constitution. Obviously, if the president were to run for Congress out of the state of Florida, his now home state, and then be selected as the Speaker of the House if Republicans regain the majority in 2022, then he would be back in the presidential line of succession. And so then if impeachment and removal did occur of the president and vice president, then he would be next in line. So it's a very interesting theory, and it's one that, of course, is possible.
It is one that's possible. It is a theory at this point, folks, but one that seems to be talked about quite a bit. Imagine Trump, Speaker of the House, leading the impeachment. Certain things are going on in certain states that could lead to exposing certain information that we were misled about that took place late last year. You know what I'm talking about. If you want my full report on that, head over to bcpextras.com. But let's say they did have a federal recall effort against the former vice president and the former senator. He would be next in line. That would almost be too beautiful of a thing as far as poetic justice that actually happened. So, folks, this is just a theory, but one that is legally and is possible and viable. And by the way, for those wondering, man, that would be strange if President Trump ran in 2024 and have a 4-year gap. It has happened before. There have been, I believe, 2 presidents. I know that Grover Cleveland is one of them, who went back to being president after having not been president in between time. I don't want to do it right here because I'm trying to do this in one take, but if someone can down below let me know who is the other person who regained the presidency after leaving. So, folks, there's massive movement going on. This is not just about Trump, folks. Liberty, America first, smart policy is not just about President Trump. Let's go all the way to California, my home state. Check this out. There was a huge effort to recall Gavin Newsom, the tyrant governor of California. This eye is blinking is because earlier today, it's like really hot here in Southern California, and I put sunblock on. I got like the littlest dab in my eye, and even though I flushed my eye out, it seems to still be irritating me. This is real, folks. I'm keeping it real with you. So this is what happened. There is a person, Susan Wall. She's a senior volunteer with the RecallGavin2020.com campaign. She contacted every election office in the state to find out if anyone had removed their name from the petition. So in California, there was a deadline if you signed the petition to recall Gavin Newsom as governor, and then you change your mind or you want to take your name off the recall, you had some time to do that. And it appears that only 36 California voters who signed the Recall Gavin 2020 recall petition have removed their signatures. 36. The number may actually be 42, and I'll get to that in a second. But here's what happened. This ballot required 1,495,709 signatures. It got 2,161,349 signatures. 1,719, almost 1,720,000, 1,720,000 were validated by the Secretary of State, no friend to the movement, by the way. So that actually gave a cushion of 224,000 extra signatures, and only 36 were removed. Vanessa Serena from the Epoch Times said that 8 people in Orange and LA counties withdrew their support for the Newsom recall. So if you add those 8 to the 36, that is 42 people out of over 2 million signatures that have backed out.
44.
I mean, this is a total win. This is total validation that people, even in California, aren't as crazy leftists as the mainstream media and the Democrats would have you believe. Now we're hearing a lot of people complaining in North Carolina that their governors do the same thing that Gavin Newsom has done. California, even though we have the waning numbers, doing really well with the virus, he said, "Oh, not till June 15th." So we're still, as the time I'm recording this, we're still 3 days away before the mask mandate goes away. I've gone all kinds of places. I went to the movies last night and did not wear a mask at all. Bought my concessions, went back for my popcorn refill, went to the theater, didn't wear a mask. No one asked me to wear a mask. I went to a very large gathering on Friday where there was food trucks and stuff. No one asked me to wear a mask. I mean, we're talking about hundreds, maybe thousands of people there. I'm out and about in California. Most people are just ignoring this. So, but what's interesting is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has not relinquished his emergency powers. You know, he declared a state of emergency. He's kept those powers. He won't relinquish it. He says, even though we're doing the mask mandates are going away on June 15th, I'm not doing away with the state of emergency. And that is how tyrants and little mini, full-on Marxists, but mini dictators operate. They never want to give power. And that's the same thing that's happening. Democrat Governor Ray Cooper in North Carolina is refusing to give up the emergency powers he grabbed at the beginning of the pandemic. And the Republicans in the North Carolina General Assembly are tired of it and are speaking out on it. This is what the local WRAL reported on the matter. As other states end their state of emergency orders amid the waning pandemic, Governor Roy Cooper said Friday he wants to keep North Carolinians in place. Quote, "We are seeing tremendous improvements with fewer cases, etc. We are laser focused on getting more done, boosting our economy." But Republican lawmakers sent a letter to Cooper this week pressing for the end of the state of emergency, noting that South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster rescinded his state of emergency order on Monday, and even Virginia Governor Ralph Northam plans to let his states expire at the end of this month, but not in North Carolina. And I want to end with this. I think this is I'm going to condense the story. There's a lot of details here, but I think this is really key, what's happening. In Florida, specifically in Palm Beach, they were seeing a lot of people leave the party. I've talked about how I am technically right now not a Republican. I've always been a conservative first, a libertarian, and a Republican by default, because you're not going to get conservative and libertarian ideals coming through the Democrat Party, especially in my home state of California. That's just not going to happen. But what I had to do was, after seeing the backstabbing and the establishment going after President Trump, I left the Republican Party. I registered, truth be told, I registered myself as a Patriot Party, hoping, perhaps signaling to President Trump that he ever looked in California, he would see that I was already registered under that party if it were to happen. This is obviously right after January 20th or so. So the party in Palm Beach, the Republican Party, seeing this was happening, and they started to do things to get people more involved. And they're starting to see a resurgence of people coming back to the Republican Party. I'm not going to give you much details on it, but Dan Schultz over there said he would welcome a chance to present to Donald Trump Jr., who lives in this area, to show him how they are building on the America First movement here in Palm Beach. He said that people were leaving the party up until recently, and now they are coming back. And it's because of this committeeman positions that they've created and trying to get actual conservatives involved in the politics locally. And they're winning back some of the people that they had lost. So this is a very important thing, folks. We must be involved locally with conservative causes and our party. And that is what we have to do, our part to take our country back. We can't be passive observers in watching our country go into tyranny and into Marxism. We can't wait by the sidelines just waiting for Trump to save us. It doesn't work that way. We have to participate in our own salvation. We have to participate in the rescuing of our own country by being involved locally in politics, voting, knowing who's running, taking positions on initiatives, telling our local and our Washington, D.C. representatives what we the people want. We have to be more involved. And it's good to see that throughout the nation, from California to North Carolina to other places, that people, and to Florida, that people are involved, real people involved in what's going on in their state and national politics. Anyway, this is a little report and update I have for you. Hope you have a great weekend. We will have a weekend roundup for you.
So there you go, guys. You know, the one common message that we keep hearing from everybody is that you have to do your part. The days of us sitting down and waiting for other people to save our country, to have a voice, to speak truth, to protect our children, all of that, those days are over. You know, God wants you to stand up like the child of God that you are and speak truth and be brave, be of strong and of courage, of good courage. God is in control. He was always in control. He will always be in control. So what he allows to happen, he allows it to happen for the greater good. And we can't see what that is. That's why, you know, that's why you have to be in faith. And that's why you have to trust God in all things. So this is the end of this episode. Remember, please like, share, comment, subscribe. We will have more episodes today because it's been a very busy time. And amen, amen. Saludos to my brothers and sisters out there. Chris, Pez, and my handsome husband, Victor, who'll be on later. I love you guys. God bless you, and we'll see you in a little while.